What is good, defenders? Welcome to your favorite pre-match event in the LAFC universe. That's right. This is One More Sleep, brought to you by your good friends at Defenders of the Bank. You know my voice. It's the scarf. J.R. Liebert. Beautiful scarf wall behind me. Beautiful person on the other side of the interwebs, back from his tour of Cabo San Lucas, celebrating what? Well, I'll let him tell you whatever number we're on at this point. We're both firmly entrenched in the fourth floor. It is my partner in pod, one Christian, Philly Philemon.
Finally, Philly and Mini Rock have come back to Defenders. That's right. Good evening, guten Abend, buonasera, buenos noches, bonsoir, I think. Bula Vingana, konbanwa, and I know I'm going to butcher this, so...
Oh boy.
So in case you haven't figured it out, that means good evening. And that last one in Korean. And good evening to the Korean contingent who's been alive, thriving, and well on all of the LAFC content. For what reason? A reason that will be unveiled in Los Angeles on August the 31st against this Chrome team. Chrome is not a color, from San Diego. But yes, Scarf, I am back in full effect, back from Cabo. You mentioned the age that I'm at right now. We'll just say it's halfway up the fourth floor, on the way to Route 50. Pedro Martinez and Michael Jordan's return number when he came back to the Bulls from the Birmingham Barons. Yes, 45 und auf Deutsch 45.
One of my favorite stories all time in the history of sports, by the way. Michael Jordan sends the one-page fax, right? Not email, not anything else. He sent a fax to the world saying just two words, I'm back, right? That was it. That's all he said. And then he came back, and the NBA at first would not allow them to take down number 23 from the rafters. So what does he do? He puts 45 on his back. My favorite part of what Michael Jordan did when he broke the world when he came back in 1996 was that there was a worldwide shortage of red dye for 3.5 months, because that's how many millions of number 45 Jordan jerseys they sold back in the day. Philly, you are in your Jordan, I guess, return year. And I don't know, man. Maybe there's going to be a worldwide shortage of Philly letters so that people are going to get them on their back. I don't know. But they should do it for you, my friend.
I'm sure when we drop that Philly 316 t-shirt, perhaps you give me nightmares thinking about that Michael Jordan return, because you talk about how 45 was back in the building. I remember how 45 dropped 55 at the Guard. Made me absolutely sick to my stomach. That's when I truly realized the man was back. But we've gone off on a tangent, clearly, as we always do. These gold links, these Cuban links are weighing down my brain chromosomes. We should get started, man, and talk about this upcoming battle, the Nexus in Texas, the disco in Frisco, the rage in the cage, the hell in the cell, the penis in the anus. I don't give a damn. Let's get right into it.
I don't know about that.
I've been watching the Rock promos as of late.
Listen, I get it. I don't know about that last one, but they are headed to the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame's headquarters. That would be Toyota Stadium out in beautiful-ish Frisco, Texas, lest you think they're actually playing in Dallas and Philly. It is only going to be 95 degrees-ish at kickoff, and kickoff isn't at noon. It is at 5:30 p.m., and it's still going to be about 95 degrees at kickoff. Listen, everybody, just stay hydrated out there. If you're going to Frisco, Texas to watch this game, bring your green hat. It's really hot. Please, just don't pass out. On the pitch, it's going to be like 110.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even taking in the humidity into account. Texas in the summertime is a boiling pot. It really is. And it hasn't been a very friendly place for LAFC either. A house of horrors, if you will. In fact, the last time that LAFC won in Frisco, number one, I got to shout him out. Chris Lafferty was at that game. But there hasn't been a win for LAFC in Texas, well, Frisco to be exact, since the game on October the 20th in 2021. A 3-2 victory from LAFC when a defender by the name of Ryan Hollingshead at the time scored his final goal in a Dallas kit. And I do thank the wonderful people at LAFC for giving us that information. Ryan Hollingshead, obviously now a part of LAFC, of course, but it's been a long time. We got 7 wins against them. They've got 4 against us. We've got 2 draws. But if there's ever a time to beat this Longhorn team, it would be now, because this team sucks. I'm trying to think of like better words to utilize. They suck at home this year. Out of 13 contests, they've only won 3. This is a bizarre season throughout the course of MLS. A lot of teams playing much better on the road than they are at home. Dallas has only won 3 games, yet they still remain 3 points outside of the coveted 9th spot, which would mean they'd be playoff bound. Wild how Major League Soccer is.
And Philly, they're not getting any better. Lucho Acosta, gone. Marco Farfan, gone. Leo Chu, gone. If you ask who they brought in at the transfer market, go check and see who's not playing for North Texas SC this coming weekend, because that's where they're bringing guys up. Yes, don't worry. Sebastian Ibeaga is still there, so we have someone with some LAFC love. I know Philly's going to talk about their big – actually, Philly's not going to talk about – yeah, he's going to talk about their big gun. That's right. Philly's going to talk about their big gun. Also gone, by the way, former U.S. men's national team darling Paxton Pomykal. He's out hurt. And a player who played very well against us from time to time, Martin Pass, their first-string goalkeeper, he's out as well. And Philly, you mentioned we haven't won there since October 21st, but this is the perfect time to beat them. I don't even want to think about the last time we played them this season. Even though we won 2-0, that's the Aaron Long injury game. So I don't even want to think about that game. This club, as you call them, FC Ribeye Steak, this needs to be as much of a business trip as possible. And my apologies to Sun Heung-min, because he has got the rough start to his black and gold career, meaning we made him first go see Bridgeview, Illinois, and playing in that dump that is SeatGeek. And now we're going out to Frisco, Texas in 95-degree heat. At least he got to see the house that Tom Brady built in the middle of all of that stuff. And by the way, you're welcome. But it is going to be brutal. It is going to be hot. Philly, there is nothing that could make me want to play in Frisco, Texas less.
No, I mean, that, a little bit of that. And by that, I'm flashing dollar signs. You talk about Tom Brady, by the way. You don't have a team in England. Being that you do love the greatest American of all time. It's funny how we're talking about all these sports.
Greatest living American, yes.
Yeah. It's funny how we're talking about all these different sports characters and in athletic endeavors that have nothing to do with what this podcast is about. But I would highly recommend that you check out the Birmingham City doc that's on Amazon Prime. I just finished all 6 episodes, and it was really good. Does it make me like Birmingham? No. I don't care for either of the Birmingham teams, but either way, it's a highly entertaining doc. That's right. You know, there is somebody that is in the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame, much maybe to the surprise of a lot of LAFC supporters out there. His name's Steve Cherundolo, and not because he's going to be coaching there, because the man had a Hall of Fame international career. I think I made a mistake by putting that video of Sonny hooking him when Steve was playing captaining Hanover 96 when Sonny was still on Hamburg, because they don't realize how good of a player Steve Cherundolo actually was. I don't think I'm going too far out on a limb by saying he might actually be one of the greatest defenders that the United States has ever had. And you could ask his teammates about that. The man has a deserved spot in the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame and a very deserved spot in the LAFC supporters' hearts Hall of Fame. Isn't that right, defenders? Isn't that right? Y'all are so excited.
Philly, by the way, I do plan on talking about the nominees for the 2026 U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame on our next episode. So make sure you guys all tune in.
I'll believe it when I see it, Scar.
No, it's going to be fun. And yes, somebody, Smirty is mentioning in the chat, yes, 4 LAFC players. We mentioned Martin Pass and Paxton Pomykal out. Maxime Chanot, Lorenzo De La Valle, Aaron Long, Jeremy Abobasi. No surprise there in terms of out. And I think it's a little far-fetched to think that Andy Moran is going to be able to do anything in this match for LAFC. He's been on LAFC for about 6.5 hours now, I think. So that's probably not going to happen.
Didn't stop a certain Swede from doing damage when he came to the United States. Just saying.
No, that is very, very true. There we go. Sorry, I just had a little computer issue, but that's okay. Nobody can tell on that end. So
Look, it's these things have never happened to you before, right? I mean, you talk about being like upwards in your 40s. There's things that are happening that have never happened to you before, right? like technical issues.
Listen,
technical issues. Scarf, have you rebooted your hard drive as of late?
Actually, I tried to, and I'm looking at it right now. I tried to restart my internet. It says error up here.
Yeah. You checked your TCP/IP settings. Thanks, Ollie.
All right, let's get into it. I'm going to get into my players to watch, and then Billy's going to give you his. A little surprised that neither one of us are going to say a certain player, but I'll go ahead and take a little bit of low-hanging fruit, Philly. Son Heung-min for LAFC, mainly because, I don't know. He's the most watched player in Major League Soccer right now. He's incredible, and he has hit the ground running. Look, I think everybody now knows when LAFC gets it right with one of these massive signings, things just start to change very quickly. I just remember how good we looked on the back line when Giorgio Chiellini came over and how instantaneously things were just different. From that point on, with the exception of one pretty amazing volleyball slap forward that he had at one point, everything that Giorgio touched pretty much was gold. And I think that's how it's been. 20 some odd minutes in his first appearance, and now the full 90 plus in his last one against the New England Revolution. He has been a revelation for LAFC and exactly who we thought he could be for us. I think he's just scratching the surface. So it's an easy choice for me. Fish in a barrel, Son Heung-min for LAFC. And for Dallas, everybody's looking at Michael Collodi. Who in the heck is Michael Collodi? He is 3-1-1 on the season, but more importantly, he has had to start the last two matches because of an injury to their top goalkeeper, Martin Pass. He is 1-0-1 in those two games. He was also the 2024 MLS Next Pro Goalkeeper of the Year and led North Texas SC to the MLS Next Pro title last season. He's also a keeper we saw on Goalie Wars during the All-Star break, and a keeper who is highly regarded in the youth system, maybe even for the men's national team. So Michael Collodi is going to be thrown into the fire. Literally, it'll be 95 degrees on the pitch with the humidity. But I think Denis Bouanga, Son Heung-min, Nathan Ordaz, David Martinez, they're all going to bring their shooting boots, and they are going to pepper Collodi with a bunch of shots, so my eyes are on him.
You got to be careful who you're talking about bringing shooting boots, because it ain't going to be just the boys on the pitch that are going to have shooting boots on in Frisco, Texas. Oh, no. Licensed to carry in the great Lone Star State. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. And speaking of the heart of Texas, somebody who gave their heart and soul to the fiends in Frisco was one Ryan Hollingshead. We talked about how the last time LAFC won a game against Dallas in Frisco, which is still funny to say, like Galaxy is in LA, but it's not. Anyway, that's besides the point. Ryan Hollingshead scored in that game on October the 20th, 2021. Bad memories for us, a good memory for him, but this is a place that he called home for a long time. This is where he won Humanitarian of the Year awards. This is a place where the former UCLA striker during his time as an undergrad really thrived, absolutely thrived there, and there's no reason to think he wouldn't thrive again. As a member of LAFC, the guy's had success offensively, defenders, 13 regular season goals, total 31. That puts him in a second place tie with Graham Zusi, regular season, Scarf. With Graham Zusi, and the number one defender, though, in terms of goals scored in the regular season, Scarf, do you know who that is?
No, who is that?
Breck Shea.
Oh,
Breck
God.
Shea, who also played there. And by the way, if you want to have a great listen to, I got to interview and chat with Breck Shea on Soccer in 60. I bring that up because that's a show that Scarf has been doing a great job hosting along with Tim Kolotz and occasionally this guy named Gunner. Really, really good stuff. But yes, I'm going to say Ryan Hollingshead in his return to Texas is going to do a fantastic job. Why not Denny Bawanga, Philly? Well, I figured I'd try something a little different this time. And for FC Dallas, we talked about all the personnel that is gone, but one player that no question is still there because he even contributed an assist in the tying goal against Austin last week is one 27-year-old native of Zagreb, Croatia, one Petar Musa. The guy is the team's leading scorer with 13. Lucho Acosta was the second one with number 5. Bye-bye. He goes sayonara or whatever. I don't even know where Lucho Acosta went. It doesn't matter where he went. Clearly, I've been watching the Rock promos. But Peter Musa with 13 goals and 6 assists. This guy is a juggernaut of a player for FC Dallas. He's been fantastic for them since coming over from Benfica. Benfica, where he only spent 2 years, played 44 games, and scored 12 times. Had somewhat of a journeyman's career there, being loaned out from his team in Slavia Prague. Prague, great place, by the way, if you want to go out and visit and have some really good beer. This kid is, if they're going to have a shot in the hell against LAFC at home, Peter Musa's got to be part of the attack.
I mean, he's the guy, right? 13 goals, 7 assists. Nobody else other than Shaq Moore has.
Shaq Moore got the goal against Austin the last time around, and Musa got the dime, the assist.
3 goals, 4 assists for Shaq Moore on the season. Other than that, it's Peter Musa. By the way, Philly, he's at Fluminense. In case
that's right. That's right. That's a place we got to go out and visit, by the way. We have to check out a game at Fluminense. It's unbelievable atmosphere.
That would be incredible. Look, I got a couple for you. I know most of our eyes, most of our mindset, most of everything is on that huge showdown against San Diego next week. But I think LAFC just needs to be careful in this one. Although since we've had a week in between each of our last couple matches, I don't think LAFC is going to overlook FC Dallas. I really don't. I think Steve Cherundolo has them in the right mindset. They are playing very, very well. They are looking motivated and excited to be on the pitch, which flashback a couple of weeks ago before the arrival of Sonny, we looked like crap for a bunch of weeks in a row. We really just looked dead, lethargic, in need of a shot in the arm. Well, we got more than a shot in the arm with who our front office was able to bring in. Just wait till Andy Moran comes in. He is going to be really, really good. We've already seen dividends from Matthew Chonier. We have yet to see a couple of other players as well. Looking forward to all of these reinforcements coming in, but we are playing so much better. So I don't think that we are going to fall into the trap, but I got to put it out there into the universe. This could be one of those trap games overlooking Dallas because we've got San Diego and we've got to continue to spread the wealth. 10 Cocoa Puffs. Yes, they do take hydration breaks when it's stupidly hot. Expect to see 2 of those in this match against Dallas. But when I say continue to spread the wealth, our last 2 goal scorers were Marky Delgado and Matthew Chonier. And that's not because we didn't have guys in position who normally score. We've just got Denis Bawanga and Son Heung-min who have been extremely unselfish. Nathan Ordaz, who has been unselfish. Look, I don't care who scores. If it's Denis Bawanga for the next 15, great. But just to continue to keep the defense honest, continue to make them mark somebody other than Son Heung-min and Denis Bawanga. And I think that's exactly what Marky Delgado helped us do last week, and Matthew Chonier. So continue to spread the wealth. And look, we can talk about San Diego and worry about the crap and chrome after this.
Bravo. Crap and chrome. I genuinely like that. It's one of the better alliterations we've ever had on the show. As far as my keys to the game, look, I mean, there's so many things we could talk about. We could talk about maybe exploiting their wing backs, such as Shaq Moore. We could talk about maintaining some kind of defensive shape. We can figure out what to do when they're experimenting with their 4-3-1-2. But rather than get all X's and O's, I'm going to say let's mind the 12th man. Now, in real stadiums with real fan support like BMO Stadium and in Los Angeles, the 12th man is generally considered the 32-52. 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2. Y'all can do the math. But the 12th man in the stands is not what I'm considering or even worried about in Frisco. It's something you mentioned. It's Mother Nature, bro. Mother Nature is somebody to take into consideration. Mother Nature is a mother for sure when it comes to playing in Texas. 95 degrees by the time kickoff happens. With the humidity, we're probably looking at triple digits in terms of how it feels. Being hydrated and being properly fueled for this is important because those players at Dallas, right? They know what it's like to cook under the sun. They grill out in that, for Christ's sakes. In here, in a beautiful city like Los Angeles, in a great part of the world like Southern California, we don't have that kind of burn factor and that kind of humidity. Maybe if you go out the riverside, but still no humidity. It's a matter of really battling the elements. And I can tell you, as talented as he is, I don't know if the rest of the season, poor Sonny is going to face any kind of weather conditions that he's going to be seeing in Frisco. All that being said, though, since he's joined the team, you've mentioned it, the LAFC has functioned a lot better. They've been impressive to watch in certain categories. And this is I consider this a successful road campaign thus far. A gritty come-from-behind tie in Chicago, a convincing win just last week. I don't see any reason why we can't get another positive result in Frisco. So that being said, let's move on to the next stage. Let's
do it. And I think if we don't do what I have here on the screen, if we don't take 3 points, even before we play San Diego, and yes, we'll still have 2 matches in hand on San Diego. But if we don't take 3 points here, then we need to stop looking at the Western Conference title. I'm telling you, this match is just obviously as pivotal in terms of getting 3 points as next week's is against San Diego. And that's why I think the players will come out motivated. Steve Cherundolo will have the boys ready, regardless of how hot it is. The unfortunate part is the guys on the other side of the pitch, they might practice and play there more often, but it doesn't mean they want to play there any more than LAFC does in that ridiculous heat. And watching the players leave and the transfer window close and nothing coming back the other way for FC Dallas, that's got to be a little bit demoralizing. And I think we are going to see the repercussions of the transfer window being one way for Dallas for sure. I really think that's going to be interesting to see how Dallas responds to the transfer window closing and nobody coming back in. I think it's going to be 3-1 LAFC. I think that Denis Bouanga is going to become the second player in LAFC history to hit 90 goals in a career. That means he's going to get a brace, folks. I don't think Sonny's going to get his first, but I am predicting at least an assist for Sonny. And you know what? Why the heck not? I think we're going to see a banger from somebody we don't normally see. I'm going to reach way deep, and I think it might be Timmy Tillman with a goal in this one for the third.
Verrückt is a word used in German. It's similar to loco in Espanol. Timothy Tillman?
Yeah.
That's why I started with Verrückt. He's German, after all. And his brother could be very interesting to see how his brother does for Bayer Leverkusen. Bayern, on the other hand, oh my God, what a game they had. Anyways, the Adiched kicked in. I think it's going to be LAFC scoring 3 goals for sure. And I do think Denis Bouanga is going to continue to climb up the score sheet rankings so he catches up and surpasses Carlos Vela this season. That tally is now 4 for him to pass, if I'm not mistaken. 4-3, I think it's 4. 3-2, it's going to be a tough, gritty game, but I do think that FC Dallas is going to throw everything that they can at LAFC for the simple fact that, number one, they have not been very successful at defending their home turf, which historically they have been. Again, to reiterate, if you're just joining the pod, this is new information. If you've been on it, I apologize for reiterating, but 13 matches at home at Toyota, they've only won 3 times. And at the same time, they are still somehow close to making the playoffs. Yes, folks, for those joining us, Major League Soccer has playoffs. And in the Western Conference, and of course the Eastern as well, the top 9 teams make it into the postseason. It's a wild league in which it doesn't really matter what your record is at the end of the season, because even if you have the best record, you get what's called the supporter shield, which in normal parts of the world, that means everything. Around here, it's a consolation prize, but Dallas can still get hot and make a run. They're 3 points outside of that playoff line. All they have to do is creep into 9th place, maybe get on somewhat of a heater, and then climb up the rankings. But this is a team that's possibly in contention with potential for playoffs. And they're not going to let LAFC just walk into their home and smack them around. That being said, I do think we smack them around and win by a score of 3-2.
I love it. Look, I've got 3-1. Philly's got 3-2. Smirty in the chat says this will be Suns game. I don't think so. And that's what I love about this. We got the back and forth, the chat. You guys are by far and away the best chat in the world. You guys know we love you so, so much. Wherever you're going to watch tomorrow's game, if you're in Dallas, wear sunscreen, please. It's very, very hot. Make sure you're plenty hydrated. If you're going to any one of the bunch of watch parties that are here in Los Angeles, mañana, make sure you stay safe, stay healthy. It's going to be hot in LA too. Philly, anything more, or are we out of here?
Well, it's just fun to say. Look, this is going to be a fun time. LAFC is going to go in there, whoop some ass, baby. The Nexus in Texas, the Disco in Frisco, the Rage in the Cage, the Hell in the Cell, the Penis in the Anus. LAFC is going to hop on that flight, layeth the smacketh down on those jabronis called FC Dallas. We are going to cook them and enjoy some rib eye steaks tomorrow night. And you know what? Maybe we'll guzzle some, some Shiner Bock. I don't know. I couldn't think of a Texas beer. So that's what we're going to do on the carcass of those filthy Longhorns. We are going to feast in Frisco. I'm out.
I like steak.